No, so we can talk about Super Bowls. Talk about the fact that like we didn't actually watch it. Then you can say Super Bowls, and
because I'm lighting.
Because you're lighting a bowl, and that'll be
funny.
Yeah, we'll talk about some.
Is that funny though? I think
no,
I've heard that before, and it's really
it's very dumb, but it'll
like
be like a Super Bowl. But if you say
you
say it in a voice that indicates that you know,
there are a few people. There are a few people on the internet that are going to watch this that aren't going to know me. Most of the people that do know me,
but you have to say it like
they would understand how that joke is. They're going to think,
I'm not funny and I should be shot. You have to say it like that, and you can say anything you want. So you can say those stupid puns that make you smile on the inside, but you just have to talk about how much you deserve to die immediately after. It's okay.
So it entertains both people that like Dan Huber and don't.
Now this is a conversation that we started off with.
What?
This is the conversation we started off with.
What do you mean?
We talk about how we're going to talk about a Super Bowl, and then I go, we do exactly what we just did. We just replicate that for the thing.
What if we talk about how we replicate, and then how we should talk about how we should replicate it?
Mm-hmm.
And I should have been recording this whole time because it'd be really funny.
I'm kind of hoping that you are now.
I was! I think.
No, I don't think so. Now you're just shouting at me. No one will ever hear it. You're just being weird.
Dude, I'm really stoned.
I know you're very stoned.
Because I just smoked the Super Bowl.
But you're not recording.
I should be shot.
You're not recording, but now you're just quoting me.
No, we'll talk about Super Bowl halftime shows.
Well, that conversation in general is a good way to start it, like talking about like...
No, I'm aware of that, but I mean, I think we should just start it now. Here, I'll push record. Okay.
Alright, I guess this is episode 2 of Bleeding Farts.
Yeah.
There's no semen poetry at the beginning of this. Actually, I showed it to somebody yesterday, and they asked if it was a 50-minute poem on semen. Blowing people. Yeah, it was. My friends I showed it. They watched the whole thing. But they thought when they first started, like they told me after it was done, they're like, I thought it was totally just going to be you had written like an hour-long poem
surrounded by penises of all sides. Bathing in that
cum dripping
bathing
down
in
my mouth hole.
But
down
for an
hour. Just an hour. Oh, do I love you, you bleachy, sticky liquid. You are so magical.
Oh, shit.
Now I almost wish, like, what we made yesterday seems pointless and gay and stupid. We should have just written a 50-minute poem.
We can do that. No, we should do that. We should write the most disgusting thing ever. But literally spend an hour.
That should be a whole episode. A whole episode.
Like we're gonna have. It'll take an entire day to write this. Like an hour. That's like half a book. No. You can read a book in like 2 hours.
I don't know. Like books on tape. My dad listens to them, and they're about 4 hours. About 4 hours.
Okay, so a quarter of a book.
Which goddamn, if you drive and you want to also read, and you're not just like a normal person that wants to listen to music or think about your awful day.
I've thought about it.
My dad does it because my dad drives for a living. He listens to books all week. Like he'll finish a book a week. My dad reads all the time, but he doesn't actually have to read.
Dude, no, I respect people that.
And it used to be that like books on tape cost so much money. He just goes to the library because my mom's a librarian. He just checks them out. So it's like it's the best deal ever.
No, but I mean,
why don't more
respect
people do it?
That just want to sponge knowledge. They just want to learn things and know things. Most people only learn things if they have to. But then there are those people out there that just want to know shit. They know it'll probably never benefit them. They're never going to get any cool points from knowing about it in a conversation. It doesn't fucking matter other than they just want to know it. That's the only reason.
See, I don't want to know things to know them. I want to know things so I can tell other people that I know them. And if I don't know things, I can just pretend that I know them.
I mean, I guess
people who are dumber than me will just assume that I do.
I'm really, really high right now. So it's hard for me.
Speaking of Super Bowls...
No, we did that.
We didn't record that. That never was recorded.
No, I did record that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Dude, we're not starting the show.
No, you didn't. No, and...
You really don't believe me?
You didn't. I don't believe you didn't record it.
I didn't record it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I guarantee you didn't.
You guarantee me. You really...
No, because now we'd have to stop it. We'd have to check, and I don't care that much.
You're just going to take the risk.
I'll just take the risk. If that's what we happen to start with, then I get to edit it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But, I mean, either way, like, Super Bowl happened last night. We're going to talk about it. Not really, because we didn't watch it. Apparently, we had this whole plan for this episode where we were going to talk about Super Bowls. And we were going to talk about Super Bowl halftime shows and their implication for America. And it was all based off of the idea that Lady Gaga was going to do some, like, bullshit, like, typical, like, oh,
fight the
people,
power, fight the
Trump
president.
is so evil. We were expecting that. And we had this beautiful idea. And Eric had this great idea for this episode, like, talking about, like, the Beyonce one, talking about the Madonna one.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about, because Madonna was popular in the news a little while ago for doing the protest about Trump, and then that sort of relates to her halftime show in a bit, because her halftime show is very anti-American. I was going to talk about how I liked her halftime show, because she had the gladiators, and it was all like a Colosseum. It was symbolic of Rome and imperialism and the fall.
So when we just watched it, I did not.
No, we only watched like a second of it. That was the dumb.
Yeah,
but it seemed
like MIA. I enjoyed it.
But I mean, it seemed like there was like a smarter. I guess it was a bit more artistic than other ones. And then I was also going to talk about Beyonce's, because Beyonce did her
last year, the Formation,
the Black Lives Matter song, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's so brave! That's so brave!" When really it was just about the safest time to ever do that. I didn't see it was so special.
But Lady Gaga,
and we assumed Lady Gaga would do something lame.
But she pulled the most controversial thing of all time, which is so
strange.
By not being political.
Yeah,
Mike Huckabee. That was the first indicator that something was weird, because we weren't watching it. We were obviously like doing a little bit of editing on episode 1. Governor Mike Huckabee on Twitter was the first tweet that I saw in reaction to it. The very first one, and how I'll remember it for the rest. He praised it. That's so weird. Mike Huckabee was like, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, in a way, has been ahead of the times on what the next big counterculture.
I mean, she accurately predicted. She accurately predicted the huge like meat dress trend of 2011. Remember that, when everyone was wearing meat dresses?
No,
that's an interesting time.
I mean, it's
black that one out.
Your joke making fun of me is funny, but I'm also picturing a world where everyone is wearing meat for dresses. Like Lady Gaga was just literally that cool and game changing that everyone just did everything she did. They didn't. And people are just wearing meat and it just smells.
Yeah, just rotting
killed
meat so many animals
on the streets.
The environment is just falling apart.
There's just rotting carcasses and skin and stuff.
Poor people have to kill like rats to get their meat. They have to kill like their cats. And
you're
the quality of the
meat by how much meat you can wear. Like how expensive your meat is.
Well, this is a rare cut of that pack of meat.
Really rich, like literally just on how much you can kill and steal from nature. Like that's how we're judged as humans.
But that's actually, if you think about it, Jesus Christ. Okay, this has kind of gotten off the rails. I guess there really isn't a whole lot of actual stuff to talk about in this one. This is more just like I
wanted to talk about
kind of get stoned and talk about shit. I think that's probably a lot better than yesterday's one was the Milo one. And I mean, yeah, we're certainly going to have moments like that, but nothing earth-shattering has happened yet. There's been no big terrorist attack, and Trump has not outlawed something weird like.
No, I don't think he did anything.
No more dish soap. I don't think he did anything today. No, today he was bitching about New York Times again.
Oh, okay.
Like he seems very much like
attempt to change any laws or like actually do anything that could.
Seems very much more like he thinks that he is the mayor of New York, and not the president of the United States. Like when you read his tweets. All very centralized to like the things that he would encounter and dislike in his home in New York. It seems like that's what he thinks he is.
But you'd think that he would not talk about New York shit at all.
But like no, he can bitch about things on a global scale, but it's still the New York Times.
I think he'd get like really concerned with California or go to another state or worry about like not only focus on New York City. He's just gonna look like, he's just like a crazy billionaire.
Because he is.
In New York City, that just got lucky and became president. But
think about his life. Think about his life. I had it described like he's the first president to watch TV all the time. And when you think about what he did before, like he's a pretty rich guy. He doesn't really have to work. His businesses take care of themselves. His kids did a lot of shit for him. And he's 70. He's 70. He's like your grandpa. It's just because he has the orange skin and the blonde hair that everybody makes fun of that he doesn't look like he's 70. But imagine if he didn't have that. He'd just be this fat, old, weird-looking man. like that's bald and is just pale skinned and chubby and tall and strange. And his life is literally like he wakes up and he described it. He watches Fox News for like 3 hours, takes an elevator from his house that is like 4 stories above his office, takes an elevator directly to his office, sits in his office, does some business stuff, takes an elevator back to his house where he watches Fox News again and goes to bed.
He's so rich that he owns all of these skyscrapers. They're just his houses. They're just
no, it is.
It's not where his office is at.
The White House.
It's not where his office is at. It's just his. The whole building is his fucking house. And people just have to come to his house to work for him.
But he doesn't leave. And that's the thing. Yeah. He has an elevator from his office to his bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't ever have to leave that building. And if you really think about it, he probably didn't for years and years. So, of course, these, like, the fears that, like, stupid people who don't get out and who don't really have friends and don't really go on the internet and aren't aware of, like, the bigger picture, the only way of, like, viewing the world is through the TV, and the only thing on the TV that they watch is Fox News, and it's this, like, immigrants are a real big problem, and these things are a real big problem. You see it in, like, small towns, and you see it especially, like, from where we grew up.
I think it's,
but with Trump, that's what Trump is.
A Democrat was in power, so then the other side has to say, you know, oh, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, so then they can get in power. And now that the other guy's going to be in power, all the liberals are going to say doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. So if you're watching the left side or the right side,
that's what Trump is. It doesn't matter whether that's right or not, but that is Trump's like
no, it's not
the
right.
world.
I mean,
and Trump just sits there. But I'm not talking about whether it. Yeah, like he's just as stupid as your 70-year-old grandpa that sits around and watches Fox News. Yeah. Except this 70-year-old grandpa is a billionaire and is the president of the free world. So, like, of course he's going to make these weird-ass policies. And if anything, right now, Steve Bannon is president. Steve Bannon is, like, what I imagine I will look like when I'm an old man. Like, very fat, tight khaki shorts, long, gross hair, and glasses, and just this big gut. That's who I want. Honestly, if I had to choose what I look like as an old man, I would look like Steve Bannon.
If Steve Bannon like wasn't, you know, the just racist, horrible piece of shit that he was, I would really like Steve Bannon. Just because of the way he presents himself and just that like bullshit, like, you know, just like, I don't want to say confidence. I don't know what it is. There's something about him that I find cool. It's just the fact that he has the ideas that he has.
Well, when one of his quotes is like, "I look up to Darth Vader."
Oh yeah, the roots for the he has the root for the bad guy complex. Mm-hmm. He totally has that. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what I like about him because I have that, you know.
Yeah, my mom actually, like in the middle of Mulan, almost threatened to take me out because I was rooting for the bad guys too much. The Huns.
Mulan.
The Huns.
You were rooting. Yeah.
I wanted the ones that slaughtered that old town,
killing everyone.
I was rooting for them.
The evil, like the evil mythical force.
Yeah, I rooted for them.
The evil raining down. You were rooting for them.
No, my mom actually threatened to stop taking me to movies in general because I always rooted for the bad guy. Also, I couldn't draw monsters because I would only draw, like, demonic-looking monsters. She's like, you have to make them have soft teeth. They had to have rounded teeth and look dopey. So I just stopped drawing.
Your parents made you draw different things?
Yeah.
They had to have rounded teeth.
Because
they policed your drawing?
They were concerned. They thought I was drawing too many monsters. To be fair, I was. Any chance I could get to find paper, I would draw some horrible-looking demon on it.
See, what I would draw battles. I would draw, like, little battles with people fighting each other and shooting. Like, they're actually pretty elaborate. Like, I'd draw, like, a D-Day one, and I'd make up my own battles.
Yeah, I've seen them with the little stick figures and stuff.
They're very, very gory and violent and awful. But, I mean, there was a lot of thought put into them, so people were just like,
mine were just, like,
weird. You're really crazy for drawing
representations of what was on the inside.
I see.
So if anything, this is like someday when I have like shot up a school or murdered someone, and the media like tries to find out what went wrong, what happened.
This is it right here.
You're gonna watch this.
Further.
This is just gonna be a descent into like the mental disorder of Alex and Eric. I don't know. I mean, because I'm the one that last time ended it with I want to kill myself. Eric was the one that said I will make sure that he does. So which one is worse, the one with the mental disorder or the one spurring it on? I don't know.
See, now here's the thing. is what you just did. If you do kill yourself, everyone is going to blame me because of the reaction we've had. They're going to be like, what was Eric actually doing to him to make him try and make him kill himself? Is Eric really evil? So now you have a card. You have a card to play where it's like, if you ever wanted to absolutely ruin my life, you have to do something myself. All you have to do is kill yourself, and it fucks over both of us. So like, you have that card to play now. So now when you threaten your own life, I have to care. I have to stop.
You have to stop me.
Yeah, I have to.
But see,
I mean, I would either way. But now you just have that extra security that I will try really hard.
What's terrifying is that we're going to, in just a few hours, put this up for the whole world to see. This is not a normal conversation that people have.
No, this is
a
real conversation.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, audience member, who I don't know who you are, possibly my mother, or the mass media in about 10 years, who knows. This is what a typical conversation that we have is like. So, NBC intern from 2027.
Just sit in there and talk alone for a second, Alex.
Eric has left the room. Fuck, tits, balls, shit, cunt, fuck. You're allowed to smoke a bowl on audio.
Alright, I'm back. So? Where were we?
So, that was a good place to stop and end that one. That was getting weird. that was getting weird. I was not a fan of that one.
No, honestly, I'm so stoned right now. I can't remember what it was about. I really don't know.
I don't know.
What was it about?
Which one of us was gonna kill the other one before we died, and like,
oh, you were gonna kill
suicide? Me? No, like suicide, and like, I now have a card to play where if I ever want to kill myself, I can implicate you and make you look bad, and that like. Which one's worse, okay, the one with the mental disorder, or the one spurring on that mental disorder?
I don't think but to be honest,
no. I mean, I
don't think you actually have a mental disorder.
Thanks.
I don't think.
Thank you. My friend doesn't think that I'm.
No, I mean, you say you.
No, I just
pretending that crazy.
I'll just joke about it because it's a character that I play. I mean,
yeah, I don't honestly think that.
When you break it down to it, like I get bored and sit on the toilet and scratch my balls just like everybody else. I'm normal. Of course, I finger my butthole while I do it.
No, that's normal.
I think we're funny.
No,
there, I said it. I think we're funny.
Either we are funny, or we are so strange that people are watching us in like a circus sense, like a slight social circus. So whether it's like, whether we're just like dancing monkeys and we don't know, or we're legitimately funny and people are going to be saying, either way, I'm having a good time doing it.
Yeah, and especially like in this format because like we can talk and we have no idea who's listening, and the people who are listening can't chime in. And if they actually listen through it, that means they have to enjoy it. If they don't want to listen through it, they're going to turn it off because there's a million other things that they could be doing with their time. I mean, I assume we got some pity views on the first one.
Oh, for sure.
And our view count is already pitiful. So the 43 people who listen to it, probably 10 of those are me just clicking on the video to see how many views there are.
43 views right
43 views.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not horrible.
No, I mean,
it's not horrible.
For an hour-long video that most people can't give a shit about, and it's called Bleeding Farts.
Yeah, that's not bad. I figured it'd still be at like 10 or something by this point.
Yeah.
I forgot, though, you did share it on your Twitters.
And I shared it on Instagram today. You should do the same.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
And anybody who's listening, if you really like this, or you want to support us, or you just want people to be aware of just how disturbing we are, and you want more people to know us so that they can avoid us and boycott things that we do, share it. Go ahead. Spread it around.
Do it. Hate us.
It's catchy, like AIDS. No, but I guess I don't want to say that we're funny, and I definitely think that my humor...
We're just different.
Well, no, my humor relies too much, I think, on that shock value, and I can find a comfortability in, like, getting that laugh that's kind of cheap because you've said... Abortion! Ha ha! People laugh at it because they're like, that's uncomfortable and he's weird. But I do think that at our core, the fact that we try and we strive,
that feeling.
We strive to make each other laugh, and I think that's a good thing. And I think that, again, we're talking about ourselves too much here, but I don't know.
I think it has entertainment weight.
Well, I certainly have, like, physical weight. All right. This thing is called Bleeding Farts, and all we talk about is just the bleeding and the fart part of it. We don't talk about what it's supposed to represent. Let's talk about some politics.
Remember when we've been talking about, this is a podcast. We talking to the podcast. What is this about? We're going to talk about people that we despise that are also in this sort of work. Entertainers, radio DJs, talk show hosts, cooking channel.
So at the place that I work, everybody, like the old guy who works, like at the desk that I sit at, I guess he kind of works like down the hall. He listens to Bob and Tom in the morning really loudly, or at least he did. I listen to Bob and Tom every morning for 4 hours. I hate them. Hey,
it's Donnie Baker from the Bob and Tom show.
And today I'm going to slowly fillet my arm.
Oh my God, you see all the blood.
See, I swear to God, though, because it's so far away that it's hard to hear definition and what they're saying, but it's close enough that I can still hear it. That like all day it's just mumbles. Like I just hear like the sound of their voice,
the cadences.
Just like and then and they'll just laugh for like 30 minutes about nothing. And maybe they're saying things, but I can't tell. It's just
it's never funny. It's never funny. The jokes are bad. They're bad.
In retaliation, I have I guess a boombox on my desk or something, and I hook up my phone and I listen to Free Beer and Hot Wings, which I just want to get in this. If you're going to choose a morning show and you're in their area, they're the best because they're aware of how stupid the genre is. They have good guests on there. They have like William Shatner. They had like Chris Hansen the other day. They do live shows. They're energetic. They're young. I don't know. If you're going to choose a show like that to watch and you can't like listen to a podcast or something that's like better or something that's good, and you have to choose like a morning radio show, 2 thumbs up to Free Beer and Hot Wings. I like them. On the opposite end of that spectrum, Steve Harvey.
Who is Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey is the guy from the Family Feud. Yeah, the black dude with the
mustache. That's Steve Harvey?
That's Steve Harvey.
He has a radio show.
That's where he came from. He has a radio show. He hosted Miss Universe, and he fucked it up.
Yeah, I know he did that.
Yeah, and,
I've seen
and he just sits on there, and they talk about relationships, and he talks about things, and he's just like this like charming, smarmy guy apparently who like says silly things and people laugh, but he's not funny and he's not charming, and it's very strange. But it's interesting. The one thing I learned about Steve Harvey. And God, I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm like an incredibly out of touch white person. But I'm an incredibly out of touch white person who did not realize in the black community just how important Steve Harvey is. They really respect him. They really like him. Every black person that I work with, they all genuinely like Steve Harvey. And while I might not like him, like they do. And I think in a way, Trump, he's part of the Trump administration now. I think Trump was smart to do it. Everyone mocked it. But notice all the people who are mocking it are probably rich, middle-class white people who are out of touch. That's a smart move if you want to get black people on your side, and if you want to get a demographic that people claimed he was racist. Well, pick somebody who really they really like him. They respect him, and I don't know if that's racist. Fuck me, right? But who cares? So there's that. But he's on an R&B station, so I have to listen to R&B all morning now. I hate R&B. Okay, but I guess this is a commentary on podcasts themselves. I enjoy the concept of podcasts, but because I don't value them enough to put time into them, because I don't value even the things that I value the most enough to put time into them, like my health or caring about people or my work ethic or anything like that. No, but podcasts, I don't listen to a whole lot. I listened to What the Fuck with Mark Maron, which is not a small podcast because, I mean, Barack Obama was on it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a pretty big deal. They get huge guests. I listened to Joe Rogan. Again, not a small podcast. Huge viewership. It's like 168,000 people watch it live.
You watch every episode they post?
Yeah.
Really? Well, no. You actually follow him?
With Mark Maron, like, especially the way that he has his set up, it'll be like, he has like his little ad thing at the beginning, and then he goes into this thing that he recorded like after the interview, maybe even a couple days after, where he like talks about himself. He says, "Hi, these are the things I'm thinking about," and then he goes, "All right, well, this is the interview. This is what we talk about in the interview. This is the context of the interview. Here you go." And if that context of the interview, like, first off, if it's a name that I don't recognize or a name that doesn't interest me, I'm already like
on the fence about whether I'm going to listen to it or not, and I kind of put it off. But eventually I get to it, I'm like bored, I have nothing else to do. I'm going to sit down and play video games, so I turn it on in the background. If it doesn't sound like an interesting interview, or I'm not that gung-ho about it, I just won't listen to it. But with Joe Rogan, I try to watch all of his podcasts, and I try to watch them live as much as I can.
Sam Harris's is the only podcast that I actually follow. The other ones, like, I'll watch like a really, like when Mick Jagger's on Mark Maron, I watched that one. Like where there's one where there's a guest from, like where I really, really want to hear an interview with him, I'll do that. Same with Joe Rogan. Like when The Amazing Atheist was on there, like, wow, that's going to be a branch of audiences that's really interesting.
That was crazy. It was on there too. Yeah.
I pretty much watch all of Sam Harris's and almost anything that Sam goes on to.
Yeah, listen
He's
to
the
Sam,
only
but
voice
like,
that I follow, really.
I have such little free time between all the things that I'm involved in and all the my work and stuff like that. Like, I have such little free time that if I'm going to listen to something, I kind of want it to be entertaining. Sam Harris is a little too
Sam Harris is literally just
thick.
Yeah, it's just absorbing information. There's not much
because he's very smart.
He's
very smart, and I really respect him, and I would love to put the time in.
He doesn't give you literally, and there's no other reason to watch other than to learn. He doesn't make it very entertaining. He's not a funny guy.
No, he's not even an emotionally deep person or varied. It's pretty much, well, I'm going to say it like this.
Well, I mean, he's emotionally deep. You just have his voice
like
sound emotional.
He doesn't show a lot. He's pretty subtle with his displays of emotion.
But it's good because when he does show emotion, it means a lot. Because there are some times where you can tell, like he hears a story, something's really tragic, it actually troubles him. You know it must be something bad because you hear him being troubled, having some emotion in his voice, which is rare.
Does he ever laugh?
Yeah.
On the podcast?
Yeah, but it's like slight chuckles. I can't really.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I've heard him do it. See, I like when he was on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan provides the entertainment, and like, don't get me wrong.
And he amped him up.
Don't get me wrong. There's a part of me that feels like ashamed that I don't listen to it every time, or that I don't even listen to it a good amount of time, or that I can even say like that I've listened to more than 10 episodes. I can't even say that because I listen to parts, but it is so dense that like if I have any downtime in my life, like I'm not going to sit and listen to that. I would if I had more time and if I could listen to it at work. But at work we have like a boss that he doesn't like swearing or anything like that. Obviously Sam Harris.
Everyone else would have to listen to.
Yeah, everyone else in my little office area would have to listen to.
And they're not going to want to listen to that. Yeah.
I mean, they don't even want to listen to Free Beer and Hot Wings. They'd rather listen to Steve Harvey. So. Oh, Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams, yeah.
It's so weird having like my only experience of like women's daytime television, which is such a sad thing that exists because it's like, well, our husbands are at work and our kids are at school. It's either daytime women's sad programming in the early morning or in the afternoon. It's like I don't have a job and I'm going to watch court shows.
No, I think Wendy comes on later. I think Wendy comes on like right as the women get out.
Yeah, there's that segment too, but I think Wendy is in the morning. I don't know.
Randy, is Wendy in the morning? 10 a.m.?
And then she comes back on at 1 a.m. at night.
1 a.m. at night?
Yeah, on Oxygen and a whole new thing. She's on like the first couple 5 television channels, at 10 a.m.
Oh, Jesus.
And then at night, the show redoes her at 1 a.m. Because I used to only watch her at 1.
Jesus. So Wendy's in the morning.
But no, like daytime television. Home, yeah. Remember, the only exposure you had to that was this very select period of time when you'd be sick from school. And you turn on the TV at home or something, and you just like flip through, and there's nothing really on, and if you can't find anything, you're just flipping through the basic channels. And like that's your exposure. That's what you know what it is. And like having come back to that now and like not seeing it because I don't have cable, I'm not home during the day, but hearing about it, it's such a different.
It's different now.
It's this weird little segment of talking. It's like podcasts. It's like
it seems like it's dominated by Wendy Williams now.
How you doing?
Dude, I hate Wendy Williams so much.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a video that she was on. I don't know if it was of her show or if she was just there at the show, like in a view type setting where she was just like sitting in for another character there. But Wendy Williams was there because this was quite a few years ago. It was before anyone really. She wasn't a big name. Mm-hmm. She was sitting there, and I can't even remember what the topic was about. It was some like weird. I want to say like whiny feminist issue or something like that. Something that really pissed me off. And I remember hating Wendy Williams, and then a few years ago, she was like in a movie that I saw, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like
Wendy Williams was in a movie?
Well, like her show was shown in the movie.
Oh, I was like gonna look that up right now.
But the main characters in a movie were watching Wendy Williams. So clearly, if this is a mainstream normal studio movie and they were watching Wendy Williams, wow, she's
was that
big
Trainwreck?
Now. No, I've never watched Trainwreck.
Oh, I watched Trainwreck.
No, it wasn't that though.
It was a car accident.
What?
Because everyone calls a train wreck. It was a train wreck. It was a car accident. It's not a good
I hope
movie.
you get in a car accident.
I have been in a car accident, and I hope I get into one.
No, one that hurts you.
That is the only way I can get erections anymore. So I hope so too.
Give me the jaws of life. Yeah, I'm good. Wendy Williams. So what I was saying is I don't like Wendy Williams.
Yeah, no. The first time I learned about her was through you, and you were bitching because you're like, all that Range does is she talks about Wendy Williams.
No, I remember
like,
I'd complained about Wendy Williams before that.
But that was the only time. That was the only time I had been aware of her. Was when you started complaining about it.
Oh yeah.
And I went over to Randy's house that night,
Mm-hmm.
and you like showed me a couple things of her, and I remember that I still don't know much about Wendy Williams, but I hate her. I hate her so much more than anyone else. Like I literally tweeted that Wendy Williams was the Antichrist on Facebook that night, and like people kept sad reacting to my status. But it's true.
I know she's popular.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I've always wanted to make one where like I like made like horns coming out of her head and like big red eyes. How you doing? And just like change it to a bunch of like people going like that, but replace the audio with
How you doing? And she, like in shitty little Photoshop, like bend Hitler's wrist down. Like how you doing? They bend down. No, I hate her. She's an evil fucking cult leader, and she wanted OJ to be innocent. I remember her talking about that, and she celebrated with all of her friends when OJ was innocent.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that like bad? Right? Like when you want. I mean, wouldn't you want OJ to be? Like he clearly was guilty. When you.
But I mean, like that's how the justice system works. But I wouldn't celebrate it. I mean, like he clearly did it, but he got away with it, and that's.
But they were like.
That's our justice system.
They were happy.
Yeah, no, they should never be happy.
She was happy for it. She took it on as like a
because even
like
the fact that
they
didn't say he was innocent, they just couldn't prove him guilty.
No, but
like the court case, like innocent.
No, but Wendy Williams was like her and her friends.
Oh yeah, no, I know. What I'm saying is like they're stupid. Like even the people who like, yeah, well he's not guilty. Kind of he is. Like, she's wrong for thinking that. Like, that's...
But the only reason they were happy about it is that he was black and the people that he killed were white.
Yeah.
So they were happy that a black guy could get away with killing white. It was just like they made it very racial. And it's not like all black
Which is
people
funny
were doing
because
that.
it's pretty much probably only white women. Or a majority of white women that watch her show.
Old, sad white women.
Yeah, who are just home alone.
But I mean, back in the day, she was... Like, you're a racist piece of shit if you think that. I don't care if everyone in your neighborhood is celebrating the same way. Like, fuck you. If you think that, like, just because someone killed someone else, a skin color that's different than yours, you want the person... Like, if they were, like... If there were two people that had both murdered someone and one was black and one was white, I wouldn't want the white guy to get away with it any more than I would want the black guy to. I want them both to be, sentenced or punished accordingly. Like, I don't see any difference... someone's morality is not decided at all by what skin color they are. And if you're saying that, O.J. Simpson should get away with it because he's the same color I am, and I just like people like that more than I like other colors, that's not good. That's not something she should be proud of.
Yeah.
Remember, it was when she interviewed some dude that played in that O.J. Simpson television show.
Oh yeah.
I watched that episode because she was like hyping it up. She was hyping it up, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch this interview, and that interview just,
Did I watch that?
That one made me mad. No, I never watched it.
It was by the dude who did American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Which,
Oh, yeah, those are awful.
Ugh.
Man, we're summarizing a lot of things that a lot of people like as being very dumb.
Maybe that's because the masses kind of are.
Oh.
Or we're assholes that can't enjoy things.
Right.
I think it's somewhere in between.
But I enjoy good things. And when I look at the intelligence of people that make the good things compared to the intelligence of the people that make the bad things, The good things usually have higher ones, and I usually agree with those ones.
Well, I also think that it has something to do with, like, just the priorities of people. I mean, like, the priority of someone who's watching American Horror Story isn't to judge it, isn't to compare it, because you also want to make video things. Like you watch it with a different mindset because you are a filmmaker. You would like to be a filmmaker. You tell stories. You know how good stories are. I mean, obviously there are objectively good films and objectively bad films.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people...
But it depends, like, on what you go into it with. Like, if someone goes into watching American Horror Story with just, like, I have all these other things in my life that I care about, but I just kind of want to sit down and tune out my brain.
They don't... The filmmakers still aren't trying as hard to make it good in every aspect. Because they know they don't have to try as hard because people aren't paying attention as hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, objectively it is bad.
Yeah, I mean... I guess it's fine that it's allowed to be bad because it doesn't need to be good. So it is serving its purpose, and I'm fine with it. And again, every level of person needs to be entertained by something. We can't just make everything this high art, deep.
I just wish they would admit it was dumb.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But how do they do that without they're going to lose money if they do that.
I don't know. We kind of lost our train of thought here.
We were talking about Wendy Williams, and now we're on to TV shows.
Well, originally we started talking about podcasts and just different things like that. I don't know.
The cult leader type personality that runs a podcast or a radio show.
Not even just a cult leader, just
or a TV show.
Just, there are a lot of different ways that people speak, and people speak about things, and I don't know. Like, it's just interesting for us to now jump in and try to do this in comparison to that. And I guess again, like I like Rogan, I like Marin. Other than that, I watched like the first couple episodes of the H3 podcast. But
see, to be honest with you, I just don't like podcasts because they're too long.
Yeah.
I think they're too long. Like, I really like all of the people that make those podcasts. Like, I would love to watch Joe Rogan's. I would love to watch Mark Maron. I would like to watch every single thing that all these incredibly intelligent, like far brighter, far more creative, far more important people than I want to know what they're thinking and what they're doing. Like, because they're better than me. I want to absorb as much of them as possible. I want to do that. It's just, they're too fucking long, so I can only focus on, like, one or two. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to focus on one, I'm going to focus on Sam Harris because he's clearly the smartest one. Mm-hmm. He's smarter than pretty much anyone releasing content. Or, any sort of author, at least, today. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying of all time or anything, but no one else is really, making a weekly podcast, dumping that much objectively true information into the arena, so I'm going to watch that one. And the problem with podcasts is that I can only watch one or two. I can't watch both because they're too fucking long. Then again, here we go. Like, this one's going to be an hour long. But I was saying,
honestly, this one's probably longer.
That's why I can't get into podcasts as much as I can. Honestly, I feel guilty now making one. Like, I'm supposed to expect other people to listen to my stupid fucking voice, but I won't give up my own time to watch other people that are doing a far better job of it, at it than me.
Well, I think the reason everyone makes them is because they are so fucking easy to make. And no, I'm not talking about like, obviously, like, when you get to, like, Joe Rogan level, you get to these bigger levels, there's cameras, expensive equipment. Like, I'm not talking about those. Those are just shows.
Yeah.
Those are, like, have the production level
like
of
TV
shows.
Yeah.
They just have a different... I mean, Mark Maron's, obviously, there's no video, but it was still, like, there's a high production level, high content and guests and stuff like that. But everyone else likes making them because they are so fucking easy to make.
Well, I think anyone...
All you have to do is just sit down with your friends and have a conversation, kind of edit it a little bit, and then put it on the internet.
Pretty much all the famous people, they just have podcasts now, Even if they don't make them that much, because it's
easy,
great.
People like them, and you just fucking make it, and there's little effort, and it doesn't cost much, and then boom, there you go. You get an audience, there you go. There's just another way to engage with your fans.
It's interesting how much the celebrity can impact our lives now. How often, like, you think about, back in the 30s and 40s, the only time you saw the stars were, like, 2 times a year when their movies came out. And you'd pay to see the movie, like, one time. Maybe you'd go see it again, but you'd just only see them on this massive screen. Maybe you'd see them on, like, newspaper headlines, possibly, pictures of them, possibly.
I was just talking about this. Was I talking about this with you?
You don't see them on TV. No, you weren't talking about this.
Oh, I have
this
never seen them on
TV.
Thought.
Okay, but now in the 70s we have... we have musicians. We see them on album covers. We see them. We can go see them at shows. All right, we still have the movies, the movie stars. Oh, now we're starting to get television. There might be people on television that we recognize. We get the broadcasted news. We see these celebrities on here. But now we've reached a whole new point where the internet constantly attaches to them. And it's not like we're just seeing. these celebrities on a screen or on a picture, we are interacting with them. At least we feel like we are. Really, you're not. If you send fucking, Mick Jagger a message on Twitter, he's not going to respond to you. Like, he gets millions of... He probably doesn't even run it. But there are times where he can't communicate with you. So, of course, celebrities are just going to do, like, a big, like, live stream, hey, this is just my life for a second, because he knows a bunch of people are going to watch it. He can communicate constantly with his fans. Like, you're constantly putting your face, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. So, doing.
No, I mean,
the celebrity has been able to penetrate us in every way.
That they are celebrities simply for existing. Instead of like, oh, well, here's a celebrity who is in movies who you like, well, maybe we'll make a show about their life. Even just a reality show about an established star. The Kardashians are the perfect example. Mm-hmm. There are people who are celebrities now just because they have a television show. Because you can watch every aspect of their life. And you have YouTube stars who they're not even rich. They're not even unique.
Alex, you have people that all they do is just post on their Instagram and they're famous.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are they're legitimately celebrities. They have cameos in movies and sell out arenas from just being pretty and putting their face on Instagram. Like there are like 17 and 18-year-old boys that just have massive followings of young girls that just follow them on Instagram. And like one kid, Randy was telling me about him. He just said, "Hey, I'm going to be at this spot in France. It might have been in Paris or it was somewhere in Europe. I'm going to be at this specific spot. Let's have a meet and greet to my friends." And he had like millions of followers on Instagram, and they shut down that town. So many people drove from all the way across Europe, like just to see him. Like there was like a massive demonstration, like MLK level fucking amounts of people crowding this town. Like they ruined the town just
to see him,
just because he said he would be here. Like he is that famous.
Yeah.
And they literally just exist. They were just born with a good facial structure, and they take pictures of it and put it on the internet.
What's
they
very
exist.
Fascinating is a couple years ago when I first got Instagram, one of the first like models that I found on there that I was like, wow, you're hot. And she was relatively young. I started following her, and I've watched, like, it's weird. Like, it's like you know them, but you don't. But I've watched her go from just a model to now she owns her own business. And she doesn't even post pictures of herself anymore. She just posts pictures of her clothing line. And it's been interesting to watch. But at the same time, I've never met her. I don't know her. And the only reason I followed her is because her ass was phenomenal. Like, that's the only reason. She had the just perfect ass. And I was like, wow, that's an attractive ass.
You gotta get people in the door.
I want to get the back door.
Yeah, I set you up.
That's funny. No, like I'm going to go to her house in the middle of the night. I'm going to break down the door, and I'm going to get in that back door of her house because I'm going to break in and rob her.
Yeah.
Of her dignity.
I was going to say, are we going to keep going with this?
Of her dignity. We're cutting that. I had to say that for myself. Most of that conversation will probably cut out, but
no, I liked it. I don't know.
We're not really saying anything unique. We are like I don't know what we're trying to say.
I don't know what are we saying.
But it's weird, yeah. Like because if you think about it, really stoned, back in the day, especially way back in the day with like presidential elections, think about it. You're like Jack Smith from Brippiter, Indiana. Abe Lincoln's running for president. Who's Abe Lincoln? When do we have the election? Who's running? I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah.
I maybe get a paper with like a drawing in it. Like maybe. Oh, I guess that's kind of what he looks like. Oh, I guess he's giving a speech like 3 states away. Oh well, all right.
Yeah, so like the concept of the celebrity,
I don't know what he
really gotten to grow.
But I mean, yeah, think about it just gets weirder and weirder because now we can view them their whole lives. I would not be surprised if in the future there are celebrities that are literally random people that have had cameras just built into their homes.
No, I think
don't do anything.
No, I think more than that. I think like you get far enough where they're going to develop VR and some sort of like interface that
you're going to live as them.
No, built into their eyes. Yeah, you're just literally it's going to be like you're inside their head. Like hey, like she's going on a roller coaster going down the thing. Like you're just you have your face into like your computer screen or however like VR works. Like it holds your head. Like your face is just in your computer screen and you're this fat guy in your basement, but you're this fucking hot blonde 16-year-old on a roller coaster in California in your fucking thing. Like you're literally
gets plowed by this like old Iranian man. And
they'll have special like Insta Life models where
so there's going to be
where they have sex where like there's really hot bro dudes that you can be that have like big dicks and they just like go out and like go like fuck chicks and you can just like
so be Second Life in real life.
Yeah, but like you're actually just becoming other people. You're not making the decisions of them at all. You're just a viewer. So when like a person's like a lead singer, like on a stage, like singing like this huge crowd of people, not only are this huge crowd of people seeing him, but he knows he has like 1 million people watching exactly what he's doing and seeing in this moment. Like the concept of a celebrity will literally penetrate our lives in every single way.
Which is my theory of
as
why
technology grows.
Which is my theory about what happens to most advanced civilizations. Is that this idea that like the pinnacle of advanced civilization is this Star Trek-esque like explore the galaxy? No, I guarantee you, if other species, like, who's to say that that's the only, like, the way that we have progressed is the only way, or, like, the ideal way, or even, like, other than just random chance, like, we just happen to be at this point. Like, it's not like this was guaranteed, or that science was inevitably going to lead to this point. We're at this point because that's how things happened. And, like, this idea that other species are going to also just, like, end up at that point.
Well, yeah.
Like, I think that's stupid.
That life evolves the same way.
If they evolved a similar way, or if these tendencies that we have, because we can't even draw a line. You need at least 3 points to draw a line. At least 2 points to draw a line. I mean, like 3 if you want to have C correlation. We have 1. We have 1 species like us to judge all these things on. But if somehow other species were to evolve the same way, I think part of the reason that they haven't made contact, or we haven't seen any evidence of them, even though it's just a drop in the bucket of what's out there, is I think this is going to be a pitfall for species. Why the fuck would you want to go see outer space when you can just make outer space in VR?
Yeah.
I think most places eventually just build something that surrounds their sun so they can get energy constantly, and then just tap into a computer thing, and that's it. That's the end. They just go to sleep. That's where they are forever, and they just have robots that guard it. Like just big, like.
So it's not that you destroy yourselves; it's that you just get escaped in your own head, because your head is such a beautiful place that you can just go.
Or the pitfall is that eventually all species realize that the only way to have a truly fair government or a truly fair ruler is to have some sort of an AI system, and we all invent our own gods, and then our gods just keep us on our planet, and that's it. I've thought about that before.
No, I'm very, very stoned.
Yeah, I'm not at all. What's wrong with me?
You didn't take a hit.
No, I know, because you have strep throat. I'm not going to take it. Last time I got sick was when I took a hit.
No, I don't have strep throat.
No, I know, but last Sunday I was perfectly fine. I took a hit here. We smoked a little weed. We watched Drawn Together, which, by the way, that's my video of the day.
Drawn Together
came out a long time ago. It was one of the very first shows I ever binge watched back on Project Free TV. Badass. Illegally downloading things. Not illegally downloading, illegally streaming. But yeah, Drawn Together. Pretty good show. It's like a bunch of different cartoons that are all drawn in like, I mean, they're caricatures of like actual cartoons. Like there's like Betty Boop, a Superman, like an internet comic pig,
and they're in a reality TV
and they're on a reality TV show. And it's not only a parody of reality TV shows, but it's a parody of like if you're into animation or if you're into cartoons, like it's a parody of all of those styles, and also just like a pop culture show, and incredibly offensive. Like almost, especially towards like the 3rd season, I think is when it ended. By that point, it is just too offensive. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised some things are even allowed on TV that they say.
Yeah, it's not even like funny. It's just offensive for its own sake. But the first season, first couple, they're good, and they're funny. There's something different.
It took me a long time to realize that the name meant that they were just drawn because they were cartoons. Like, I should have, even though I was a little kid when I first saw that title and I first saw the commercial to it, I should have figured it out right then. But I didn't. It took me till I was like 16. Just like sitting in high school class one day and it's like,
took me until last week.
drawn to get. Oh, because they're drawn. They're cartoons. It took me too long to understand that. I just want to admit that. Drawn Together is a good show. You guys should watch it.
You think having a podcast is 40 minutes is too short?
Yeah. Hour is perfect. I think hour to an hour and a half, because especially like if it's interesting,
people are going to give an hour of their life.
Well, no, because again, with me in particular, when Amazing Atheist doesn't release content, I get kind of angry, and when he does, I'm excited, and it's because I'm a fan. It's the same with Plinkett. When Plinkett released content, notice he released like a 2.5 hour video. It's because I wanted 2.5 hours of Plinkett material. And if you're a fan of something and you want material of it, the more the merrier. I mean, right now.
All right. Well, you're being brave. You're being brave then, thinking that you can actually build some fans.
Probably not. I don't.
Dedicated enough to spend an hour of their day.
Well, I mean, let's look at it in the long term. Let's say we don't have fans right now, and pretty much the people who are watching this are our friends who slowly will no longer want to be our friends. But let's say this is 10 years down the road, or not even 10, like a year. we actually do have some fans. You're going to want to go back and watch some material. And I think we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Plus, we have not talked about anything of substance this time. Like, no politics, no...
No, I think we did.
Kind of.
Talked about Trump for a second. There was also the part about the Puerto Rican boys in the cages. No, there was something else. I'm just
talked about Wendy Williams.
Yeah, but it seemed like there was
about,
something
Bob and
political,
Tom.
important that we.
Yeah, well, I talked about Steve Harvey and his connection to the Trump administration.
Anything about race? You know, the black, the OJ thing.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think I was racist. I don't think I was.
Yeah. See,
I know in my heart I'm not racist, so obviously I wasn't saying anything racist. But I'm saying
words about intent. Like
I don't know if people are going to interpret it as racist. Or
if you plead ignorance, you're fine. Like,
no, it really wasn't. It really isn't a racist statement.
Yeah.
If people see it that way, I think they're wrong. But if they truly feel that I am, then I'm sorry. I'll just try and tell you as best I can that I'm not. But that was the only serious political thing really we talked about. I think this is really blowing my mind right now because I guess I've never realized just how much weed wipes out your short-term memory. I mean, I've thought about it before, like, wait, what was I doing? And everything's are foggy. But since I'm making something and I've been documenting this entire time along the way, and I'm thinking about, like, oh, what's going to be in it? How long is it going to be? What things did we say? Like, is there anything in there we should maybe shouldn't have seen? Like, is this going to be embarrassing? All just the little issues that you're thinking about when you're making something, especially something that's still recording now.
Mm-hmm.
With that in the back of my head, I am now realizing just how much of that stuff that should be important to me isn't in my memory at all. Like, it's just blank behind me. Like, your brain does not absorb memories the way it normally does while you're high. And I'm just realizing that now. And it's cool. The thing, though, it does kind of suck, because I think about, like, my favorite concerts where I've taken edibles and I've gotten really, really stoned going there. I don't remember that much of it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the same is true with alcohol a little bit when I get drunk at a show, but not as much. Weed makes me just blank.
See, that's unfortunate, because I had that same experience with... it was the Portugal the Man and Cage the Elephant show.
Yeah, I hardly remember that.
I remember Cage the Elephant because by that point I was sober because I was on Adderall and the Adderall pulled me back out.
Wait, did Cage the Elephant play second?
Well, first Broncho played.
Oh, yeah.
Which they were good, but I was just fucked.
Yeah, I don't remember them at all.
Yeah, I
we didn't take them at the
I remember looking at them and like thinking like, oh, holy shit, they're dressed like they're like 90s weird vaporwave kind of stuff. But I didn't really have the word for vaporwave at the time.
I don't remember Broncho at all. I remember you saying to me that these guys are going to be big. You said that. That's all I remember.
I've seen them a lot more lately. Landon.
And you said that they were going to grow. That's literally the only thing. I don't know what they looked like. I don't know what kind of music. It could have been bluegrass. I do not know.
It was.
There's no way it was bluegrass.
You don't remember.
I don't. But it just seems like bluegrass wouldn't be playing with Portugal the Man. Then again, I'd see that show. If Portugal the Man and Bluegrass Band were touring, I'd see the fuck out of that. And then, Portugal the Man.
I remember very little of.
I don't remember
which
that
disappoints me because that was the reason I went.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a huge Cage the Elephant fan. I like them.
No, they were good.
They put on a good show,
and he was a cool
but it's still
frontman.
like it's kind of poppy stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but it was still refreshing to see a guy acting like a frontman.
Yeah,
like going out on stage and
he gave it
his
all.
This skinny little long-haired guy just belting. It reminded me of like a Freddie Mercury, Mick Jagger, like a frontman. Usually bands are just like, oh, I'm just the guy that like sits back with my band and they're like listen, but it was cool to see him sort of branch away and like play that old rock star role.
He was a frontman. He wasn't just I'm the lead singer.
Yeah.
He was a frontman.
That was cool to see. It's not where I think the best type of music comes from.
Honestly, I think the top memory that I have of that event was the black road manager from Portugal. He was like that kind of chubby black guy. He would come out and he would entertain the crowd. I don't remember him. He was fun. I liked him.
Oh yeah, I don't remember
entertaining.
anything he said, but I remember him being there.
I have no memories of actual things that he did. I just
so
know I have an enjoyable memory.
Weed really destroys your memory. So if you want to have a good time at a show, if you want to feel fucked up, do acid. Don't get drunk or smoke weed. If you really want to have a memorable experience, remember every single second of it. Do acid.
Or Adderall.
I mean, Adderall too, but acid is a bit more, actually a lot more intoxicating, and you can lose yourself a little more.
Yeah. But acid, again,
No,
you
acid's-
focus too much on the trip. and
That's
less
true.
on less
Okay,
on the
half a hit of
experience.
acid. It's a microdose.
Yeah, I
acid
was on a
experience.
tiny bit of acid that
Yeah.
night anyway.
You do just a little bit of acid, and it makes you feel fucked up. But
Mhm.
fucked up in a good way. Fucked up not in a way where you can't remember it.
I feel fucked up, but in a good way. I also
Yeah,
have seen the front bottoms at Deltaplex. I fucking hate the Deltaplex.
I hate the front bottoms. They're terrible.
Mm.
They're dog shit.
They're entertaining because there's a period in my life when, like, I was just kind of like, I don't know, like, a period in my life that I remember when I hear them, so I have an unfair opinion of them because it's like, not really nostalgia, but it's like when I hear them I go, oh,
Yeah,
that was a fun period.
There was a
of time
period in my life where I wore Fox motorcycle shirts and really liked Monster and thought like Three Doors Down were good. So
But that was also probably not a period of your life that was a really high point in your life. The period of time in my life when I liked that
I don't know.
music was a high point in my life.
The ignorance was blissful. I thought it was.
Yeah, I know,
cool
but
and
right
fun.
now you don't look back on that time fondly. I right now
You still
look back
look
on
at
that time
fun.
fondly.
Okay,
It was a fun time in my life.
all right.
It wasn't a good or incredibly...
There's events.
I'm not saying that the front bottoms are good. I'm just saying I enjoy
You
them.
associate them with good feelings.
I have an unfair,
Okay.
or I guess I'm pretty biased. The one thing I wanted to say about podcasts, though, is that I'm wondering how well this does. And thankfully we do have the movies, which we're actually going to that BloodCon in Jackson.
Blood bash.
Blood Bash.
Blood
Okay.
Bash.
Okay.
Because like you bash someone's.
Haha.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully we do have that. I mean, side note, like we're going to a film thing to show Devil's Inc., which you should buy on DVD because you like us.
Yeah, that's
but
the
no,
movie.
that's the one thing that I think most people who make podcasts do it for is that you're a creator or you're a content creator in some way. Like Mark Maron is a comedian.
Mhm.
H3H3.
Sam Harris is an author.
He is a YouTube, creator who now has a podcast. Most people do that to provide content to their fans
Who like them for another reason.
who like them for another reason because they want more content because podcasts are so easy to do. Like there are people out there who are personalities, like Ryan Seacrest and things like that. He came from a radio show.
Yeah.
But there are people like that who are just known for being personalities. But most podcasts, if you look at especially at the successful ones, Joe Rogan, he was on Fear Factor. He hosts. I guess he's kind of a personality too.
Yeah.
But he's a comedian. He's a comedian too. I don't know, but like you look at the really good ones, and they usually do something else. And this is just a way to provide easy, quick, cheap content for your fans to keep them engaged and involved. And it almost seems like a marketing strategy. Like, hey, now that you're big, dude, like you're really popular for your YouTube videos. Let's do this. We're gonna have you get in on these ads. That we're gonna give you a podcast. And that's the problem is that I think podcasts are inherently cool, but a lot of the times they're just used to be like, here's some shit, digest it, fans, because you guys are whiny and you try to rush me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm surprised that, like, obviously Red Letter Media, they're all old guys and they come out with content pretty consistently. But you know what I mean? I'm surprised they don't have one.
Yeah.
Then again, they have that mock one, the Nerd Talk, where they make fun of, because they got, like, approached by Disney to come do, like, a review of the movie beforehand, but it had to be a positive review. And they turned them down, and then other people got, like, positive... They were making fun of people. I guess they kind of have one, but it's mainly just, like, a series that they do, like a parody series that they do every once in a while. But,
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really have that. We're not popular elsewhere.
Yeah, do normal people just start a podcast?
I don't know.
They did. I don't know. I don't know enough about podcasts. The only people that I know that have made podcasts were famous for not, making something else besides a podcast.
I guess you make a podcast if you think you have interesting ideas. But I mean, look at all the other people who do podcasts, or people who copy, like, well, I want to be a Twitch gamer, or I want to be a YouTube, or I want to be a commentary guy on video games. I don't know, like, maybe we're doomed to failure, but I think we probably have a lot more interesting things to say than other people. And the fact that we're even commenting on this right now, like, we're talking about the art form while making the art form.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Meta, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
No,
I don't know
it's
my
cool.
reasonings for doing this.
I enjoy fourth.
I don't know why I
groundbreaking
feel so
material.
drawn to this, but I do. I feel drawn to this idea of, like,
I mean, we talked about personality disorders and narcissism in the last episode, so I don't think we really need to touch on that today.
I guess also it's like a low effort way of creating something.
Yeah.
And when you feel like writer's block or anything like that.
Yeah, it does feel good just to constantly make things. If you have the...
But also
the
we're
bug.
using our skill. You and I, me more so, but I guess like we're talkers.
Mm-hmm.
We're charming. We like to do that. Displaying my skills here.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to charm anyone with this.
Yeah, repulse.
Yeah.
And the only people listening are our loved ones, so we're only hurting our own personal lives by releasing this, so...
Let's search for something happy to end on. What's difficult is that we had...
antibiotics aren't as effective as fighting bacteria anymore, and we might end up in a world where heart disease has a 50% chance of killing you. Or like open heart surgery because there's just no more antibiotics. That's a real idea. Wait, that's not happy. It's not happy.
Well, I mean, it might be happy.
If you really don't like your relative that's getting open heart surgery.
Or if you just don't like the human race and you want them to fail, then that's a good story.
Like the George Carlin thing. If you guys had actually listened to us and respected us, you might have watched that George Carlin video, which honestly I had not seen while watching the podcast, but I watched it later that night.
Yeah.
Or while making the podcast, but it's good, it's beautiful, it's great, you should watch it. But yeah, my suggestion this week was Drawn Together. I'll put a link to like the trailer or something. I'm not going to link you to the show because I don't think I can do that. But go ahead, watch it. It's good. Eric, do you have something you want to suggest?
Fuck, I didn't think about this. This is like TV show, movie, anything?
Your video that you wanted people to see.
Alright, it's a secret link. I know what I'm going to post right now, but I'm not going to say it, so you got to just click it and watch it and see what it is. Or don't, if you don't want to be scarred. I mean, it's up to you. The risk, you know what you're getting into if you click it, so if whatever you see, it's your fault.
I really wanted to talk about Gavin McInnes. Still have not done that. Still probably never will.
He doesn't deserve for you to be talking about.
No, he doesn't.
This was a podcast that was supposed to be about nothing. I just wanted to get stoned and talk and see what happened. And see what sort of raw material...
We're experimenting with a form of communication that is as old as the internet, basically, like podcasts. But we're experimenting. Maybe like the last one better, maybe like this one. So it's a little bit more off the cuff. We don't really have a whole lot to talk about. Again, please, any criticisms you have, whether about like the quality of our souls or the quality of our content, if you want us to talk about something, suggest it.
Or shit talk us.
Yeah.
Just insult us.
Challenge us to fight.
Did you see the
feats of strength?
The last video has a comment.
Does it?
Yeah. It says that Alex even sounds fat.
Who commented
That's
that?
what it said.
No, I just looked at it earlier. You haven't looked at it since I've talked to you. You would have known that it had a comment on it.
You're going over to look?
Yeah, I don't believe you. Now I'm worried. I know that's not what it said, but I do. I do.